Welcome back to the channel. This is Punched. Okay, today we're going to talk about a new play aid that I cobbled together this morning. The game is still Grognard Simulation's title, Armored Knights, Guderian crosses the Meuse. So we're going to talk about this new air unit availability tracker. So you may recall that in previous videos I had shown an area over here on this side of the table with these markers, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are fatigue markers, and as you can see, quite a number of these markers are supplied, I think with the intent that they would go on the individual aircraft units to mark how much fatigue they had. And that's perfectly fine, it's functional, but I determined early on that I would rather have more of a columnar layout, and that's how I've been operating. So finally I decided that I would make this play aid, the air unit availability tracker. So let's talk about how this works. So air units in Guderian crosses the Meuse in the Armored Knights system have both, they do have a step, they can take a step loss, and that is represented, this should be fairly visible. You can see that white stripe. This represents an air unit that has taken a step loss. Were it to take a further step loss, that unit would in fact be destroyed. So as opposed to, here is the full strength side. So, however, air units have more going for them than just step losses. Okay, air units have something called fatigue. That's what these counters are meant to represent. So the way that fatigue works is it represents literal fatigue on the part of the air crews, and it represents maintenance, accumulated maintenance issues, patching bullet holes, coming down for 100-hour maintenance checks, rebuild on the engine, that sort of thing. Stress and fatigue on the airframe. It's all lumped together under the broad term of fatigue. So as it turns out, you can fly an aircraft, you can fly a unit of aircraft rather, when they have 0, 1, or 2 fatigue, but not when they have 3 or when they have 4. And it's important to track the fatigue. So the typical mechanism here, mechanic if you will, is that suppose I want to fly this JU-87 unit, okay, close air support, what have you. So I fly it and it accrues 1 fatigue. Every air mission accrues 1 fatigue by default. Now, it is possible, based on the air mission success table, to accrue more fatigue. So typical things that happen are that you could get a fly F result, that is fly but accrue an extra fatigue. You could accrue an abort result. An abort accrues an extra fatigue. I guess that both of these things are meant to indicate that the mission was more difficult, and also to account for the, it's sort of abstracted out, but to account for the appearance, or presence rather, of fighters. So we have abort, extra fatigue, fly, extra fatigue, abort 1, which is the unit aborts, receives a step loss, and accrues 2 additional fatigue, which pretty much means that if you get an abort 1, that was the only mission or the last mission that you can fly for this particular turn. Now, the fatigue, there is a fatigue recovery, which I believe I've demonstrated in a previous video. And fatigue recovery is relatively straightforward. Realize, though, that a typical fatigue recovery from 6 below is going to be about 3. I'm not sure what the S means here. That doesn't mean much to me. I don't think there's anything that it means in the game either. So, but realize that generally speaking, if you're flying your aircraft, let's get back to that. If you fly your aircraft, so I've flown it, and there was nothing unusual that happened. Then in the next turn, we pull back to the ready box and fly it again. Okay? So that's two sorties, 2 missions, if you will, during the day. We come back and we fly it one more time. So that's a maximum of 3 sorties per day per squadron of aircraft. And then, of course, we roll on the air unit fatigue recovery table during the start of day interphase, which I demonstrated in the previous video. So that's basically it. I just like this format better. I like the layout better. It makes it easier. Everything's in one place, and I don't have to kind of cobble together something. Even if I were using, fairly religiously using a multitude of these counters, right, I would still have to have an area somewhere on the table or potentially off table where I was still keeping track of all of these units with their fatigue counters. And rather than have the fatigue counter obscure the aircraft unit itself, I would just prefer to do something like this. Now, I can tell you, having had a sneak peek at my own copy of the Armored Knights Case Blue Don Ben game, this sort of mechanism will not work for that game. It only works for games like Guderian crosses the Meuse, or perhaps some of the earlier Armored Knights titles where you have all of your aircraft maybe are glommed together as a single bunch of aircraft, and we're not worrying about airfields, which aircraft are assigned to which airfield. So that's what we've got here. I'm going to post a link to the air unit availability tracker in the notes below. Hope you enjoy it. I'll put it out in PDF format. This is, in fact, the PDF printout that I'm using myself. And I think this is going to serve me well. So you'll start seeing this in the upcoming turns. So, as always, if you like, click the like button. If you're interested in what I'm doing and you want to get the regular updates, by all means, click the subscribe button. Would love to have you along for the ride. So, once again, Punched, talking about the air unit availability tracker, and we'll see you down the road.